Welcome back to the channel. Today we will be looking at the best of the best Reddit cheating stories. Let's jump into it. First up, finding out my cheating ex is now engaged. We broke up late last February. We were together for about 2 years, and to be honest, for much of the relationship what we had was amazing, or at least I felt that. We lived together, were like best friends, and the sexual chemistry was incredible. That's important to the story later. She cheated after a one-night stand earlier that month and fucked a guy twice. She told me some details and was overall very, very nasty and insensitive about it. It messed me up severely and completely broke me mentally. I mean, this happened a year ago and I'm still reeling from it because I was totally in love and completely blindsided. Fast forward a year and I've made a lot of progress in my life, purely driven by the feelings of destruction and despair. I obviously still get waves of emotion as I'm doing now, but I've tried my absolute best to process this and move forward. In the meantime, she has been extremely religious, extremely. She instantly became celibate and started attending church religiously, and now through the grapevine I have found out that she is engaged. This is the best and worst news at the same time. It's final. It shuts up the dumb and fantastical side of my mind and says, dude, move the fuck on, and it will do that for me, but at the same time you feel so much pain for someone else being with someone you didn't know you were still harboring feelings for. What a wild fucking year. From a promising and beautiful relationship to promiscuous cheating hoe to engaged and celibate, there's no way she's kept that. Anyway, whatever man, this is just ran to get some feelings off my chest. My head is spinning. Next story is boyfriend cheated on me while 33 weeks pregnant. The story goes like this. I found my boyfriend texting his ex, left phone open on their messages and fell asleep on the couch. I was going to wake him up to go to bed but saw that first. At first I didn't realize who she was but saw some clear texts indicating he cared for her and they've obviously been together for some time. I was furious and asked him about it. He claimed it was a random girl and he was just texting her, but later got him to admit they had sex and she is indeed his ex-girlfriend. My heart is broken. I was 33 weeks pregnant, now I'm 37 weeks as it's been a month of trying to ignore my feelings. I don't know what to do. I moved cities for him to be in the same house when the baby is born so we can be a family. I sit in this house every day and cater to any need or wants he has. We eat every meal together, watch every show together, and I cannot fathom how he could cheat on me while pregnant with his child. He blames it on being drunk but was sober enough to drive over to her. I am angry every day and cry every single day since I found out. I am literally about to pop this baby out any day now, and as it gets closer to the due date I'm dreading it. He has taken all my joy out of this pregnancy. I am in no condition to move right now as my due date is getting so close. I have horrible cramps all day and just walking up the stairs is extremely tiring. I cannot imagine moving all of my things again, a whole hour away to my old city and starting over while being this close to my due date or postpartum. Even if I were to move, my insurance is now transferred to my current city, so it would be an hour drive to the hospital while in labor. I'm so torn. One part of me wants to ignore it and believe that we can still be a family, but I know in my heart I cannot forgive him. I act fine as the days go on. He catches me crying sometimes or not being in a good mood, but I cannot go to sleep or wake up without thinking about what he's done. We still spend time together watching movies, going to the store, etc., and he acts as if nothing happened unless I seen in a bad mood. I feel fine for a bit, but I remember countless times a day and just feel sad all over again. I don't want to be alone during postpartum, but I also don't want to be with somebody who can cheat on me while I'm giving them a life. I know I can plan to leave once I feel physically able, but the more time I spend here with him, the harder it will be. Looking back, I wish I would have just left to a hotel the night I found out and came back for my stuff once I got a place. I know it'll be much harder to leave once we set everything in the nursery up after he's in the room while I deliver. Our final story for today is cheated on my slightly abusive fiancé of 7 years. This story is from a 22-year-old male. It goes as followed. I've just cheated on my fiancé of 7 years. In this last year, me and my fiancé have been super stressed because of a lot of different reasons. This caused our fights to get worse and worse to the point where she slapped me during one argument. She slapped me because in our really bad arguments she breaks down and starts hurting herself, and during this argument when she started doing that I grabbed her hands and screamed for her to please stop. She slapped me, and when I told her I couldn't believe she did that, she told me I deserved it. This was my breaking point, and I told her I don't think we're good for each other and we should separate. But after I told her that, she slowly calmed down and pleaded for me to stay with her. Obviously a big part of me wants this to work, so I accept her apology. That was about 6 months ago, and that's when I started thinking of breaking up at some point. Since then we haven't gotten into any major arguments nearly as bad as that one, but I'm still highly unsatisfied in our relationship. I'm unsatisfied because though we may not get to that point again, it's the fact that it happened. Also, ever since she got a new job where it requires her to be more physically demanding and started going to school, she doesn't help around the house. I try to be equal with chores and cooking as to I do all the cooking and shopping and she does all the cleaning. Problem is, there's so many times every single dish will be dirty because she hasn't washed them in a week. So now it's turned to me cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, shopping, and working as well. And I'm fine with doing all of that sometimes as a kind gesture, but she has not cleaned anything for almost 2 months now. Now I do understand that this could be a sign of depression. A person staying in bed all day and not doing anything, I get that. Which is why I offer for us to see a therapist. I've personally booked a meeting to see a therapist for her, but she ended up telling me she doesn't want to talk to a random person about her feelings. So yeah, about a month ago I downloaded Tinder. And last night I told her I was going to go to the bar with coworkers and then hang out with them at their house. In reality, I met up with a girl my age who was more nervous than me to be on a date. We talked so much that we had to leave because the restaurant was closing. I rented out an Airbnb and just pretended it was mine because realistically I didn't think I was going to see her again after this. On the way there we had dumb fun, and at the Airbnb we found out we watch almost the same shows and anime. Later that night I can tell that she planned on staying over because her place is an hour away and we were both drunk. So I called my fiancée and told her I was too drunk so I wasn't coming home that night, and well, you know the rest. So now I'm in this state of I don't necessarily think this new girl I should be my wife, but my current fiancé isn't either. So I ask you, Reddit, am I a shitty person for staying with my fiancé and justifying it by cheating? She gets a husband that cooks, cleans, works, and will do damn near anything she asks, and I get to satisfy my needs with other women.